How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today, I want to cover a stock that's in the EV space. It's in the autonomous driving space. It's in the healthcare space. It's one that I've wanted to get into for a couple months now, and it's finally had a significant enough pullback that I felt like I could pull the trigger. They also have a potential catalyst that was just announced over the last couple days, and this is one that Dead Inside has talked about before. It's one that I've talked about before, wanting to get into. It's a really interesting one. Like I said, just out of the penny stock space, it's come down about 10% today. And it's one that you need to take a look at. So before we get into it, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate that. It helps out the channel a lot. If you guys want, you can check out the link down below to WeBull. You can get 2 free stocks, just deposit $100. There's also a link down there to BlockFi. So if you guys are interested in getting into cryptocurrency, you can get interest rates on crypto on BlockFi. You can see here, I have $125,000 in GUSD there, where I have an 8.6% APY on that. So really interesting, attractive interest rate there if you guys want to get into that. But that's the last thing I'll say. Now I want to talk about FRSX. Now this one is one that I covered December 23. Now I've wanted to get into it since then. It was around $5.75 or something like that. I'll show you a couple of the clips from that video, but it had moved up so quickly just over that time span that it was hard for me to want to buy in because it had gone up about 242% in a few days. Now, this is what I said about it right away. I want to give a huge shout out to Dead Inside. He has his own channel on YouTube. He's been killing it recently. He pointed this out yesterday. So I need to give Dead Inside the shout out, but also just take a look at some of these other clips from this video. And all it takes, I think, is them to announce that they have some big partnership for this, and then I think the stock will blow up even more. Now, this is still... So right there, I talked about how I thought if they announced a big partnership, the stock could blow up. More on that here in a second. But then also one last thing that I said, unfortunately. I would take a look at FRSX. And again, I'll probably miss out by doing this, but I've added so many positions recently, I can only handle so many different stocks. But again, I think this one might do quite well in the future. It is barely out of the penny stock range, but it's still a very small company. Still has a lot of potential catalysts. And even though I'm not buying because of my personal situation, again, I'd really like to buy. I might be buying here in the next day, depending on what it does. And I never bought. So I said a couple times in there that I could definitely be missing out. At this point, it was $5.76. Now it's sitting around an $8 stock. I bought more at $8.30 today, or I bought in for the first time at $8.30. Now, the reason I am talking about it, and the reason that it's really interesting now, I'll tell you in a second because they just had a news release. But first of all, I want to talk about what it is. So it's a company that helps with obstacle detection. So with autonomous driving, there's a lot of issues depending on what kind of technology you use because of rain, fog, glare, rain, snow. There's just a lot there that can cause issues. You can see that there's a big push back a couple months ago with the pandemic detection, and they've won some big awards. You can see some of them here, Edison Awards, which I believe Elon Musk also won. Now, the thing that just came out on them was that their Foresight iNet successfully completes trial with a top global vehicle manufacturer. So this just came out March 1st. It says they announced that its wholly owned subsidiary, iNet Mobile, successfully completed a trial of its iNet Protection cellular-based accident prevention solution for the Intelligent Transport System division of a multi-billion-dollar global Japanese car manufacturer. The trial, supervised by Blue and White Robotics, was designed to demonstrate iNet's advanced capabilities of protecting vehicles from oncoming collisions. The trial was streamed in real time from the test ground in Israel to the Japanese car manufacturer. The trial is part of a pilot project with the vehicle manufacturer for possible integration into the vehicle manufacturer's smart city project, as reported by the company in January 2021. It demonstrated a 95.54% success rate in all tested scenarios. all users were alerted on time approximately 2.4 seconds before reaching the intersection at around 3 feet or 1 meter away from the required alert location. A high level of accuracy and consistency was shown as all participating vehicles consistently stopped approximately 10 feet or 3 meters away from the required location in order to prevent oncoming collisions. They proved its robustness and reliability by operating 100% of the time with zero crashes or errors during the entire trial day. This is something that I kind of hinted at in my prior video. If you remember, I said if they come out with some big partnership, I think the stock could fly. This is something that I've been waiting for, and I've been waiting for a pullback, honestly. So I hadn't seen one for a while. We could see that it went all the way up to $11.32 on February 10, and since then it's come down a good amount, about 28%. I think that this is still kind of in that position that I talked about last time where you can sit it out. You can try to see it if it goes at a lower price, but if you wait too long, you just might not see it come back down. Like, we're not seeing it come back down below $6 like it did when I talked about it last time. We actually saw a bump from last week, a good amount. It was in the high sixes. Now it's already 20% up. So if you're waiting for it to drop a lot lower, you might get in later at a later date, but you also might miss it completely, because if this Japanese car manufacturer says that, yeah, we're working with Foresight Autonomous, this might be a big enough contract to send the stock price up 50, 60, 70%. We've seen these massive buys that have caused the stock price to go up dramatically in a day. I mean, just look at what it did from Friday to Monday. It went from $6.79 and it went up 33%. So yeah, it would have been great to get into it a couple days ago, but this news just came out yesterday, and I think this is really positive. However, the stock price is going down. I think the market just isn't reacting necessarily rationally today, because we're still kind of coming down from that high yesterday where so many stocks were up, and this one did go up 33%. So I think that's why we're seeing a little bit of a pullback today. Now, I don't have a price target on this. I think trying to make a price target on this is not really worth the time doing, because it could go up to $20. You could hit $20 on the stock if they announce a massive partnership, or if there's just enough hype built around it. So that's something to consider. It's really hard to put a price target on these kinds of hyped up stocks, and the companies that have so many eyes on them and have big potential catalysts in the future. But let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know if you guys like this company, if you bought it today, if you have been waiting to get into it. I really want to hear down below. Again, shout out to Dead Inside for covering this earlier today, but I want to bring it to you guys now because, again, I think this could be a big winner over the long term. I will see you guys in the next video. If you want to see my video yesterday on NEO and their earnings and what I was doing there, I'll put it up here on the end screen. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.